Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Hi everyone. So in this video, we are going to discuss about AWS Lambda. So generally, we are going to talk about what is the purpose of using Lambda, how it's helping to uh, like resolve the server management issue, infrastructure management issue. Okay. So just a second. Okay, yeah. So generally it's a Lambda is a function as a service. So it's a we don't want to worry about the underlying infrastructure and server management. We don't want to worry about it. So we just want to focus on which kind of tech stack we are going to use it, and then what is the particular function it's going to do. What is the logic behind the function? That's only we want to focus on it. So we just focus on the function creation, application development. Okay, so just deploy the particular specific function into the Lambda. Okay, it will take care of the underlying infrastructure configuration management, everything. It will take care of it. Okay, it's basically a serverless um, application. Okay, so generally we don't want to manage the server configuration and everything. So it has inbuilt features of auto scaling. Okay, and then based on the network traffic, based on uh, the resource utilization, it can easily scale up and scale down. Okay, and another one, how the building is happening is there is two parameters it's considering. One is how many numbers of request, how many numbers of invocation is happening, and then how long the particular function it takes to execute the Lambda function. Okay, complete the Lambda function. These two parameters is considering for making the build for the Lambda function. And then it has inbuilt integration with CloudWatch for monitoring the Lambda. Okay, and then some disadvantages also there, like it's not suitable for deploying and running the containerized like a Docker image kind of applications. Okay, so it's kind of just you have to write your code, or you can upload your code as a zip file. Okay, in the Lambda service. Okay, and then but another way is you can package and deploy your Lambda function. You can convert your Lambda function as a Docker image. Okay, container image, you can convert it, and then you can use it in some other container services. You can deploy it. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages of Lambda. So now let's talk about the performance of a Lambda. When you are increasing the Lambda RAM, so increasing the Lambda will improve the CPU and network utilization. And then basically the RAM range between 128 MB to 10 GB, that is the maximum limit. And then maximum execution time for the particular Lambda is 15 minutes. Okay, so and then disk capacity for the Lambda function container is 512 MB. Okay, and then the environmental variables, how many environmental variables we can store, we can have it. It's a 4 KB we can have it. Okay, so and then how the deployment is we can do it. So if the project file size is compressed, we can upload, maximum limit is 50 MB. If the project is uncompressed, we can go and up to 250 MB we can upload it. Okay, and then another way is, if you have some common functions, you have to use the common packages in various Lambda function, you can convert those functions as a Lambda layers. Okay, so you can reuse the code. So that's one of the advantages. And then but the particular Lambda function can we can attach maximum 5 layers, Lambda layers we can attach it at a time. So for the particular Lambda function, so that is the uh, performance oriented details and deployment details. Okay, so now let's talk about networking part. So by default, Lambda has public access. Okay, so it has VPC, but it's inbuilt VPC by managed by AWS. Okay, otherwise if you want to integrate your Lambda, your customized private VPC, your Lambda should not be publicly accessible. Your Lambda should be access only the private resources. There are some other things we have to do it. Okay, so by default it has the public access. Okay, and then if you want to enable your Lambda is if configure your Lambda is VPC enabled. So like you have if you set your Lambda is a VPC enabled, you have to configure your VPC routing table. You have to configure it, and then you have to configure the security group of your some other resources. You have to which resource is going to access it. It's the particular Lambda function, which resource is going to access that security group. Also, you have to change it, and then if your private Lambda should access some public resource, some internet access if it's need, you have to enable the NAT gateway. You have to do it. Okay, so these are the things uh, we have that is it has for public access and private access. Okay, so now let's go to the demo part. We are going to build we are going to discuss about we have already built the Lambda function by using AWS CDK. We are just walk through the steps and then how to deploy the Lambda function using AWS CDK. Okay, so let me share the screen again. Okay, I hope. Yeah, I hope my VS Code screen is like displaying to you. Okay, so in the previous video we discussed about how to create the AWS CDK application using Golang. Okay, so now we are going to create the Lambda function. That's it. So except this part, rest of the things all are boilerplate. When you are creating the AWS CDK, so they accept the other functionality, this main function, and this is also we added. So this we have to return the ID, the default account and default region ID. We have to get it from our AWS CLI, which we previously configured. Okay, so and then that's it. The rest of the things are boilerplate. Okay, so here you can see I created a config folder. Okay, in the config, I just added some basic constant values. I added the stack name, the function name, and then memory size for my um, Lambda function, the maximum duration, and then code path, and then handler. Handler means what will be my entry file, what will be my out build file. Okay, so this is the configuration details, and then in the same directory I created the function folder. It has the Lambda function, Golang Lambda function. Okay, so how it differs from normal function and Golang normal function and AWS Lambda function is, so you have to use the Lambda dot start in Golang. We have to use Lambda dot start. This function we have to use it. Okay, so we have to install AWS Lambda Go. So it will when Lambda function it triggers, this will invoke this handle dot request. Okay, so here we can get the parameters of inputs and the outputs we can get it. Okay, so I created the handle request function. It's taking the event as input. Okay, in the event I'm just passing the name only. I'm passing, and I'm just returning the sample message, welcome to AWS developer series. Okay, that's it. This is what my Lambda function has. And then here um, in the AWS series, this is the AWS CDK function code. I added the AWS Lambda deployment here. Okay, so the function name I defined, and then runtime. So I'm going to deploy Golang runtime, right? So this is the runtime I preferred that. And then the memory size I already configured. The memory size, it will take it from the config folder. Timeout, maximum duration, I said that. And then code path, where it's going to take it, the code path. Maybe I can just I hope I'm audible. Yeah. So it's just asking for a confirmation. Okay, now it's deploying the resources. Okay, now it's successfully deployed. Now let's go to the AWS console. Okay, so here you can see AWS Lambda. Okay, so the new function is deployed recently, Lambda function. Okay, so I just deployed the Lambda and then it use the bootstrap as a handler. Okay, so and then I can test the function now. So here I can pass the name Veera. Okay. Okay. Now the function executed. So I get welcome to AWS developer series Veera. Yeah. So that's it about this session. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. So we will discuss the other things like other resource API gateway and build the serverless application in upcoming series. We will discuss about it. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks everyone.